Thanks for joining us. It's Monday, November 7th. Live from Seoul, I'm Han Daeun. A new week has begun, but the deep problems remain for President Park Geun-hye, who's confronting an abuse of power scandal that's enveloping her administration. The presidential office is doing what it can to calm public sentiment, hear public opinion, and accommodate the political party's demands. We begin with presidential office correspondent Song Ji-sun.
Severe. That the word mentioned most by an official at the presidential office of Cheong-ho-dae, indicating that the top office is both aware of the degree of public anger and willing to listen to public opinion on the abuse of power scandal rolling the country. At a meeting with reporters on Monday, the official said the priority for the president and her staff is to stabilize the nation and ensure there is no vacuum in state affairs. He also said this week will be a critical period in efforts to strike an agreement with the opposition parties on ways to resolve the crisis. The opposition parties are demanding that President Park withdraw her nominee for Prime Minister Kim Byung-jun, saying they should be the ones to propose a nominee. The officials said Kim will be granted all the necessary power and authority to carry out state affairs. The president's chief of staff and the senior secretary for politics visited the National Assembly on Monday to arrange a meeting between the president and party leaders in an effort to seek their understanding regarding her choice. Another word the official repeated was communication. President Park met the same day with senior religious leaders representing Korea's Catholic and Protestant churches to seek their advice, keeping a pledge she'd made in last week in her second public apology. The top office said that going forward, there will be more occasions when the president seeks the opinions of other religious leaders and people in diverse sectors of society. Song Ji-sun, ARIRANG News.
Over at the National Assembly, it seems there's an internal feud building within the president's ruling Saenuri Party. A ruling party heavyweight has called on the president to give up her party membership, possibly setting the party up for a prolonged fight. At a press conference this morning, Kim Moo-seong, the former Saenuri chairman and a potential presidential candidate, called on President Park Geun-hye to take responsibility for the political uproar caused by the Choi scandal and leave the party. That drew a sharp rebuke from the party's decision-making body, the Supreme Council, which rebuffed Kim's remarks, saying his comments are his own and do not represent the party. Meanwhile, the former chairman of the main opposition party, Moon Jae-in, who is also a possible presidential contender, said it's time for President Park to, quote, draw a conclusion on the matter, which he claims is the last thing she could offer to the public as the president. Meanwhile, new details have emerged on the probe into the power abuse scandal surrounding President Park Geun-hye and her key presidential aides. State prosecutors say they've captured conversations between former presidential secretary Jeong Ho-seong and the president, as well as those between Jeong and the president's confidant Choi Soon-sil. The audio recordings were found on Jeong's cell phone. Jeong, who served President Park for 18 years, is suspected of passing presidential speeches and classified documents to Choi. Prosecutors have also re-summoned a former senior presidential secretary for policy coordination An Jong-bum and the former senior secretary for civil affairs Woo Byung-woo for another round of questioning after a marathon session on Sunday. This as interrogation into Choi, the mysterious woman at the center of it all, continues on charges of attempted fraud and abuse of power as an accomplice with one or more of the top presidential aides. Turning overseas, with the U.S. presidential election just a day away now, the head of the FBI has given Hillary Clinton a boost, saying she will not face charges over her use of a private email server, and the case is now closed. Clinton's campaign team says it's glad the matter is resolved. Kim Mo-kyun has the latest.
In yet another bombshell letter to Congress, FBI Director James Comey said on Sunday that the Bureau had finished its review into the newly discovered emails and found nothing to change its original conclusion made in July. Back then, Comey concluded Clinton had been careless but not criminal in handling sensitive material on a private email server while she was Secretary of State. But as he announced last week that the new pertinent emails had been discovered, the issue flared up again and put Clinton's campaign on the defensive. Latest polls showed Clinton's lead dropped significantly after Comey's announcement last week. On Sunday, NBC News and the Wall Street Journal released the results of their final national poll, which found Clinton holding a modest lead over Donald Trump. The poll shows 44% of likely voters support Clinton, while 40% back Trump. Clinton's lead had tumbled by more than half the 11-point edge she enjoyed in a poll held in October, and now was just slightly above the 2.7% margin of error. An ABC News Washington Post poll found similar results, with Clinton ahead by 5 points, 48 to 43%. A Political Morning Consult poll also reaffirmed a small but steady lead, showing the Democratic nominee with a 3-point lead at 45% to Trump's 42%. In that poll, Clinton's lead was within the plus or minus 3 percentage point margin of error. The polls were conducted during the first week of November. Kim Mok-yeon, ARIRANG News.
And that's all from me. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to Arirang for more top stories throughout the day.